Ow.
Alright guys, today's video. I hope I got you set up in a good position. It's kind of hard to see. I got you the whatever camera freaking tripod thing kind of laying across the back seat area, and I got the ring light sitting on top of the console, but the light's not hooked up, so it's not really helping anything. But anyways, today's video, gonna go ahead and replace the turn signal. Where are you? Where's the camera there? Okay. The turn signal, what is it called? Cancel cam. Okay. I've been kind of referring to this as like the horn sort of ring. I didn't really know this was the name of it, but apparently it's called the turn signal cancel cam. That's your part number. Assuming you can see it. This was on a closeout from Rock Auto that they're wiping inventory on. I don't know how hard it may be to find these things now coming up in the future, but I will, if I find some of them, I'll put a link to them in the description, so look down there. But anyways, so this, cars get old. When you turn on your blinker, you turn on, you make whatever turn is, and you turn far enough. When you turn it back, it should undo the blinker itself. I've been noticing that sometimes on right-hand turns in this car, in the Z, obviously, that when I go around and I make the right-hand turn, it doesn't come all the way back, and I have to manually turn the blinker off myself. But that isn't so much issue. The main issue as to why I'm replacing this is that when I took the steering off one time before, I made the mistake of using a impact gun. Well, at least not controlling the impact gun while I was using it, and I broke the stem here, because right here is where the little spring pressure sensors twist in and holds in for your horn. So when this got broken, I haven't really had a horn. Luckily I can yell very loudly. Loud noises! And I never have the T-tops in, but right now I would like to try and get this fixed. So tools you'll need for this is a ratchet, maybe a breaker bar. You can use an impact gun if you want, just make sure you control it. The bolt under here is a 13/16. I also have a 3/4 inch socket, which should be the one I need for my puller. So you'll need those. You'll need a steering wheel lock plate remover tool. If it can be done, it's very, very difficult without that tool, just because the little lock ring C-clip thing that holds on there is a bitch to get off without. It's a bitch to get off on its own with something holding on the way. Without that holding on the way, you're just trying to push it down with your fingers. It's very difficult. We need that, and you'll need a puller of various sorts. There's like a steering wheel puller, pulley puller, harmonic balancer puller. Whichever one is going to line up correctly is the one you're going to need. So once you get those, oh yeah, maybe a flathead screwdriver, definitely some picks. Okay, so now this is for the most part the same process on all third gens. If you have a airbag car, you have an add to step. Make sure you disconnect your battery. You have to remove the airbag first before you can then get to this. But in lieu of an airbag, no airbag. So we'll just grab our horn ring here. That'll work. Just pull it off. It snaps right off. This is the piece I'm talking about that twists in there and locks into that little nub. That's what activates your horn. So take that, move it out of the way. In here, hope you can see, I can't really see right here. Okay, is the nut for the holds the steering wheel on. Take your ratchet or your, you get an extension on this. Nope, okay, that was loose enough. You'll want to make sure too that your steering wheel is locked on the steering wheel lock. If not, you'll have a hard time breaking this free without using an impact gun. So you break the nut free, take the nut, and there is a, nope, there's no washer built onto it. So take the nut, make sure you don't lose it, set it out of the way. This steering wheel, if I wanted to, I could take these 6 Torx bolts out and remove the wheel out of the way, and then just deal with just the lock ring itself that holds the steering wheel on there. Or you can just leave it all together and take it out as one unit. I'm just going to leave it all together and try and take it out as one unit right now. Now, inside here on either side of the shaft, there are 2 bolts, 2 holes. For bolts, you'll need to figure out what size those are, and I believe I need to use this harmonic bouncer removal tool to make it work for my car. But I think I need, if I'm remembering correctly, I need the bolts out of this other pulley set. It's a very convoluted process. I've got to figure out which ones I need. Not those. If I knew what the threads were, I would tell you, but I don't know what they are. Alright, so whatever these ones are, I think I got shorter versions of them because I don't think I need these long ass ones. These ones here. Alright, I need 2 bolts. I believe this puller body is snap in there, god damn it, Harbor Freight shit. Harbor Freight. That puller body, I believe, is too wide spaced. I need to use this one out of here because this one actually lines up correctly. So these are the bolts here that I need. I got these 2 bolts. They are whatever thread they are to fit. I don't think they're labeled. It should be, if I am thinking, Craig, I think it should be a standard size thread. So you'll need the threaded shaft goes in here. And they usually have 2 different types of attachments on here. This one is the pointed kind. There also should be, like, sometimes they have a cup kind that will go over top of something. This should work either way. Put this in shaft, I take and I have to thread these bolts in. I don't think I need any washers. The bolt holes should be able to grab, I think. Or maybe I will need to get washers. I haven't done this in a while, so hang on a second. Yeah, see, this one has the cup. This other one has a cup style that goes over top, but it threads in differently. I think I do need washers for this, just to keep the heads from sliding through the thing itself, the tool itself. I've already used this before, so I've got bent washers. So those are the ones I'll use again. That one, and that one. Set those out of the way for now so I don't deal with it. Start this one, then I'll fix the other side. This is just one of the situations where it's not difficult, it's just awkward to do. Okay, that one's in. Take this one out. So now you want to pay attention to where your steering wheel is sitting when you take this out, so you can put it back on the same way. So it's indexed the same. That way it won't affect if your car is aligned or anything like that. You put the steering wheel back on incorrectly, your steering wheel will no longer be aligned with the way your wheels are facing. Okay. That's tight there now. So now I'll take my other size socket I need for this job. And I just go and tighten it down, and as I twist this down in, it will push against the shaft while these bolts hold it and pull the steering wheel off the shaft. And steering wheel is off like that. All right, and as you can see, there's that broken piece I was telling you about. That's what I'm trying to replace. So we'll take our steering wheel, we'll just set it out of the way. So now we have this dust plate on here, and it just kind of snaps right along the outside, and you got these 3 little notches, and this is snapping onto the steering wheel lock ring. So you just got to pop it off. Pick maybe better. There we go. I think screwdriver is a better option. I just needed a smaller screwdriver. There we go. Pay attention to the way that sat. So now here, this is, so right there, that little knob, that's your steering wheel lock. As you turn the key, see? Comes back in. That's what locks the steering wheel. That is your friend for doing this. Now this is the lock retaining ring. As you can see, you can push it down with your fingers. That's all well and good, but then you have to try and hold it, and you gotta get this little clip ring right off of here on the shaft. So this is why this lock plate remover kit comes in handy. You simply thread this on, and I'll try and position it in a place where you can see it. That. Take the wing nut, twist it down, and this is all this is doing is there's a spring on the back side of this that holds the lock ring pressure forward, and this is just compressing that spring. So now this is the trickiest part, is getting this ring out of here. You gotta try and kind of pry it up and get it to a point to where it wants to sit on here. So you work out the rest of the way. Chance that you may, more than likely, poke yourself with a pick and get stabbed. I've done it multiple times. Keep working at it. Get this annoying ass thing off. As I said, this is the most excuse me, annoying part. On you, bitch. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There we go. All right, that's off, and then you slide it this way. Then you undo the ring, or undo the lock ring tool. You pull the lock ring out, remembering exactly the way it was positioned. Don't lose that ring. You need that to hold it on. So here's the old cam. There's the spring you were compressing. That's what you were fighting with the lock. What's in my face? So I'll take this cam here. And again, I will, if I find some, I will put the link in the description. And this was sitting right about, whereabouts was it sitting? Anyways, I think it's these two notches here that actually pop the right along on inside here that pop the blinker back in place. So right there. So as long as it's, as you're installing this, these two notches are in between these 2 points over here. So I know it's hard to see the where you position, but that's where you want to keep it. So we'll take that. We'll take the lock ring, line this back up the way it is, making sure that you're putting it back the way it was. Take your tool. Well, no, first you want to take that ring, that clip ring, and put it back on there. Take the tool, compress this lock back down. And all you do is compress it until you see that groove that this came out of. Pop this over the rest of the shaft here. Get on there. Giant massive pain in the ass. There we go. All right, once it gets over that lip, you just take it, push it down. Push on here. There we go. Now it's in its place and it's locked in. So that will hold the lock on, and then you take this back off again. Okay. Now take our steering wheel. Well, actually, before we do that, we got to put our dust plate back on. And that just snaps on. Dust plate, dust ring, whatever you want to call it. There you go. Just line up in place. I'll take your steering wheel. Remove the puller. I was just checking sure, make sure I hit the record button to begin with, because that would have sucked had I not. Okay, just move the puller out of the way. And then we line our steering wheel up to the position that it was. More or less. We got to make sure right here, this hole here, this is the hole that this cam lock goes through. Or not the cam lock. Well, yeah, that little nub from the cam lock goes through that hole. Make sure it's lined up and you don't break it, because then it just ruins all the work you've just done. There we go. Right, there you go, in place, and then you take your nut, put it back on, and that's locked, and then you will then tighten it down. Should have got a deeper socket. But that's on there. Steering wheel's not going anywhere. Then you can take your your horn button, and then you put this back in here, and you twist it in and lock it in until the little knob fits into the lock in that little shaft thing, holds it in place. Then you just pop your horn button back in. Getting it lined up. Hey, look at that. No longer have the L. So there we go. All right. That is how you replace the broken, worn out cam lock button in your car in a 3rd gen. Process is the same for all the columns. You just have an added step if you have an airbag or not. All right, guys. That's all I got for today for fixing this. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I will see you next time.